all of that we laid out brings us to this conundrum that the 76ers are facing with the NBA investigating whether or not they are in violation of this new player resting policy. What is the league weighing here with James Harden?
Well, essentially the league is weighing whether James Harden and the Sixers had a valid excuse for him not playing in Milwaukee, not traveling to Milwaukee for what was a national television game. And, certainly what the Sixers are telling the league is no one wants James Harden on the court more than we do. We think the fastest way to get him on the court was to keep him in Philly, working with our training staff, with our team, because that's going to speed up his debut. One of the interesting parts of this player participation policy is that if you are not going to play and you are a star player, the league wants you on the bench. They want you in the arena on the bench so fans at least can see you if they buy a ticket in Toronto, let's say, on Saturday night. But I think this rule was not made for this James Harden situation, and that's certainly the case that the Sixers are making to the NBA. Fines for this, for violating this participation policy, $100,000, the first fine, then $250,000, then $1 million, and it keeps going up from there.
So the league is investigating this for now, but you mentioned him being away from the team. I feel like that's a little bit of a misnomer. Sometimes, Bob, people think that it's better for a player to be with the group as they're on the road as opposed to back at the practice facility. You've actually been in there making these decisions. Why would that be?
It's always better to be in your facility. There's so much more access to things as far as getting treatment, recovering, not being on a bus, not being on a plane. For any of us, it's just faster to not do those things to recover. But I see what the league is doing. The league's saying we're watching. We're paying attention here. But if you're the Sixers and any of us are the GMs of that team or making those decisions, it is the fastest way to get him back. And the last thing on Harden, because I know we're going to go there, is last time we talked about this, we talked about what does Embiid want? Well, I'll tell you what. Embiid wants to win, right? That's what he wants to do. He's one of the best players in the NBA. When I did that job, I talking about Curry. What do you want? What do you want? The other thing I didn't say is the less you have to talk to your star player about the roster, the better. Because when you're talking to him, that means there's a problem. Steph and I didn't talk that much, which was good. He doesn't care. He says, I got to go out and get 30 a night and live in a world where every single thing I do, people are talking about. You do the roster. Just make it good. So that's the thing about getting your star involved. Sure, we want to talk about our stars. They really don't want to hear it. They really don't want to hear it. So when you got to keep going to them, that's what creates an issue.
Mr. Wilbon? I'm just saying a couple of things. One, the league is just misguided on this for all the reasons that Bob outlined. Stop worrying about the optics. Have some guts here. James Harden's best place, if he's going to be on the Sixers at all, is in that gym to get ready to be on the team. Waving in a suit to the fans? What is he, the Pope? He doesn't need to do that. He needs to be ready or get ready to be in a game.
Right.
Not sit on a bench in whatever you're going to sit on the bench in. So that's just sort of fraudulent and annoying to me personally. The second thing is you are so right, Woj. This rule wasn't meant to deal with that. This rule was meant to address DNP rest.
Right.
That's what this was done to do. So streamline it to that and let this other thing go, this PR move. You're not going to satisfy fans if he's sitting on the bench and they paid $1,000 for 3 tickets that night for their family to come and see him play. To see him in a suit on the bench is not going to satisfy them, and the league better know.
Right, and the league's not said that. They've not ruled on this. We're just saying the rule is if you are out, is that you've got to be on the bench. In this case, the league may very well rule that they're in compliance with this.
What the hell are we talking about here? This man went into China, called the executive a liar, swore he would never play for the Sixers again. He comes to training camp. He repeats the same thing. He disappears for 15 days, and the NBA is investigating the 76ers? Who are you playing with? It's the dumbest thing I heard. There's only one person that needs to be investigated, and that's James Harden. What the hell have you been doing the previous 15 days you were gone before you came back, tried to hop on a plane to the team? And we know you're lying. And let me tell you, you know you're lying. So you're going to come out from your cocoon where you're all comfortable and everything to fly to Milwaukee? When you haven't been practicing, you ain't in shape, and you got to go against Dame? You really, really wanted to do that? That's a lie. It's not about the Sixers. It's about him.
But Stephen
and as far as I'm concerned, the Sixers, the league is wasting our time.
They are
And then
wasting
gets,
our time.
want to go, oh, we're investigating them both.
But Stephen A.
No.
Stephen A. Here's
him.
the deal. It's not even up to the league. That is why Philadelphia 76ers better figure out what to do with James Harden.
Well, and that's why, as Woj, you can expand on this much more than I can because this is his reporting, that the Sixers want him to ramp up in the facility because this is an opportunity to say, is this actually what you want?
The Sixers, they want to know whether James Harden is going to play basketball for them this season. He says he's going to. If he wants to get paid most of his $35.6 million, he's going to have to play if he's not injured. And so they're going to find out here in the next few days as they get closer to what should be a debut. If he doesn't make his debut, right?
I need you to step back. I got to ask
I'm
this
afraid.
man this question right here. So, Woj, if the Philadelphia 76ers said to James Harden, we'll give you your money, do you want to play or not? You know James Harden, what would he say? He'd take the money and go home, wouldn't he?
That's what they're trying to find out. And
I'm
the
saying,
league's not going. The league, Bobby, the league does not want a situation anymore. And this new player participation policy outlines they don't want situations where teams send players home for a month or 2 months. It's at the end of the year for tanking or during the season waiting for a trade.
Bob, last word on this one.
When fans would send emails and say, I bought tickets in Denver and Curry didn't play, nobody said, but I saw him on the bench in his warm-up suit, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I got what I paid for. You're right. You're right to be frustrated by this whole thing. You're right that the fact that the league, they're just saying, we don't like this.
Right.
We don't like it. The rule is not for this, but we're going to investigate it to make sure everybody knows we don't like it.